Rebecca Moy. Welcome to my studio. I'm a Chicago-based painter, an abstract painter, and we're going to give you a quick little tour and some information more about what I do and how I do it. I've been an artist since I was in the womb. I always tell people that. My mother agrees. I would play with light brights for hours. Anything with color I was always attracted to. And when I was really young, I have really awesome parents and encouraging ones, and my mom signed me up for weekend classes at the Art Institute. And so I'd go at like 11 years old, you know, and just paint or just explore different media, and I was just in heaven, you know. I always knew that this was a part of me, and it maybe is bigger than me, I don't know. So I grew up in LaGrange, which is a western suburb of Chicago, and then I moved here to go to Columbia in '98, and I've been in the same apartment ever since because I'm lucky and my family owns the building. And I studied visual arts management there. I wanted to know not really about painting because I knew that, well, I have an authority complex anyway. Like, you know, me sitting in critique, I couldn't take it. So I wanted to know about how money works, and I wanted to know how to structure business, make business work, and how to really run a gallery. One of my big dreams is to have an international gallery chain, you know, for local and emerging artists that are everywhere around the world. They're abstract landscapes with architectural references in them. I live in the city, so I see a lot of bridges, I see a lot of streets, I see a lot of structure, and then I see a lot of organic shapes happening. So I try to layer those up into these kind of biomorphic, amorphic shapes. I play with color theory a lot, and this is the result. A lot of it is very precise painting, and a lot of it is, you know, depth building here, and everywhere. It's just saturated, you know. It's so full of emotion and life, and it's a buzzy painting. And I call it hummingbird because look, here's the bird. The bird's right here. Maybe I should have named it toucan, but anyway, here's the bird. Yeah, you see her. Yeah. And being an artist in these awesome technology times, I've found that diversifying my portfolio, well, no, not my portfolio, but like my approachability has been key. So I'll have some stuff in galleries, I'll have some stuff I have a website, and I get random people like, oh, I saw you. I'm like, how? I found you online. And it can be as simple as Googling like Chicago abstract artists, and then somehow they're in my studio buying a painting. So I always have things here, and I have things in, you know, a couple galleries, and looking to expand overseas. You know, I've got enough going on right now, and I'm building up a whole other series to go to New York and then overseas. So I only paint with acrylic, and I only paint with the best. It's kind of the, you know, it's the rule of the trade. You know, if you're gonna make paintings that go for X amount of dollars, they need to be worth it. So everything costs top dollar. And then I have this, all my brushes are very specific, and I go through them like this because I paint so fast, but it's always acrylic. These are fluid-based acrylics. You want to get on this? These help me when I mix them with like the regular acrylics, which are more bodied and dense. They help me to create my final lines, my top lines that are really strong and really graphic looking. So this is I have everything. It doesn't look organized, but it really is. Like, I have to have everything within 2 seconds because acrylic dries so fast. Everything is it's almost scientific painting. So I have to have everything within a grab, like 2 feet away, and it can't take longer than 3 seconds because otherwise the mood will change once something hits the canvas, which we're going to get to in a second. I always have spray bottles. This does different effects, of course, but if I'm working on one area and I need to make it more lush or anything, like, you could do a lot just with water because it's acrylic, of course. And I have all these brushes, but they all have their own purpose and reason, but I really love little tiny brushes like this. Like, this one's my favorite. This is a number 1. And then there's like There's like this one, and this is like, I don't know. There's nothing better than these. Okay, I use white gesso and clear gesso. There's about 6 layers of gesso back here, and I sand in between each one. And what happens is, and why I do that is because it holds the pigment and the paint much better. You don't get the tooth of the canvas anymore. It's like as if I'm painting on glass, which is how I get my graphic effects. This is where it gets a little scientific, because you have to know ratios. I have to know each and every tube or liquid thing. I have to know their viscosities and opacities. Not only that, but to the 10th, because I have to know how they intersect 10 layers later. I have to know what happens if I put this color over it or that color over it, etc. I mean, it's like 10 games of chess at once. It's kind of crazy. So I collect. I have these images in my head all the time. I go on walks. I get them from nature a lot, and I have a photographic memory for these images. So I have this Rolodex all the time, and it could be like tree branches. It could be an old thing of gum on that's pavement, you know, or sidewalk lines, or some music going on, or a movie going on Netflix, or just something just to have in the background. I'm a fan of white noise, so yeah, everything creeps in, and I don't really think about why or how, but it does get in there, you know, especially jazz. Yeah. Like I said, keep your spray bottle handy, because we can make it move for about 30 seconds before it dries. See, like I like the challenge of acrylics, because there's no room for error. If you screw up once, you can't like mush it away. It's done, you know. So I like its command of everything I got, you know, as a medium. It commands me to give it my best. Every brush stroke has to be my best, or it'll look like crap. So. So this piece's title is Dawn. I have trouble appropriating words for my pieces, because I think that once you do so, you limit the audience, as an abstract painter anyway, and for myself, of course. But you know, you give something a word, and then you trigger memories, you trigger all kinds of different ideas that anybody who's looking at it may feel about the piece. So I'd rather number them, but it's all right to name them. I mean, sometimes I've even just like grabbed a word out of a dictionary at a random page, you know, like garden or whatever. But this one is Dawn. I'm going to show you Dusk, which is her sister. Yeah, putting words on things, especially abstract, it's always weird for me. I'm like, I don't know, because then they might think this or that or this or that, and I don't want them to think anything. I just want them to look at the piece, you know, and not have any kind of mental barriers, and words do that. So in other words, they construct a thought process, and that shouldn't happen. You should just feel them. I would tell anybody who's following their dream to put their blinders up, have that tunnel vision, and stay focused, and be a good person. Help when you're needed. Ask questions. Ask people better than you, more experienced than you, for help, because they'll love to, and you'll help them. Like, get involved in some kind of community. It can be as abstract as being on an online Facebook chat room from artists from all over the world. It could be that abstract, or it could be meeting for coffee with like 2 other people for 3 hours and getting to the grind about how business is really done and how it's changing with technology and all these things. So really, don't listen to anybody. You can't, you know, the first time you listen to anyone who says you're brilliant is the next time someone says that you're horrible. You're going to listen to that. So you can't listen all that well. You can't. You have to stay focused, and you have to stay on your track, because that's what's here, and that's what makes sense, and nothing else will. you know, the 7 to 10 year range, I expect to have Moy, you know, branded. So I want my work, I want a whole line of work made by me to be manufactured on everything, so it's approachable to everyone, as far as like pen caps, ties, umbrellas, bathroom rugs, napkin rings, anything that people can live with, because I think it should be had and it should be approachable if you've got $7 or $70,000.